Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand. Léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
This is Star TV News with me, Jacqueline Collie. In the headlines tonight, MOPSI launches Island Gambia platform. Veteran politician Sheikh Saho calls for community policing. Muslims to celebrate Night of Power as Ramadan draws closer to its end. Brikama United defeats GAF FC. On the other news, DR Congo military takes eastern provinces from armed groups. A challenge for Afghan military as US leave Afghanistan. Sexual violence victim in Triagay struggle with psychological impact. Those were the headlines and other news in detail. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education launched a new platform called Island Gambia, following the government's closure of all schools in March to cope with the coronavirus. This platform is being launched to help students get access to the lessons they missed and to prepare them for unseen emergencies. More on this report.
The government of the Gambia closed all schools in March to cope with COVID-19 and introduced learning using electronic media for students, especially grade 9 and grade 12 students, to continue their lessons ahead of their exams to move to their respective new grades. iLearn Gambia platform also came with the initiative for students to get access to learning through the platform, web or mobile app to get personalized learning as the name implies. The platform serves teachers and students alike. It will give students the opportunity to learn anytime and anywhere using this mobile app. The founder and lead software engineer at Cameco, Ivo Lawrence Mendy, highlighted the impact this platform will have on the education sector in the Gambia.
We used to have, like, some students do have remedial class, and also some do have private teachers. But again, not every parent can afford a private teacher, and not every parent can afford to take his or her child to a private school or a school that has a very good standard. And most of the private schools have very good teachers, because they are able to pay them more compared to the public schools. But the students, the teachers that are on the iLearn Gambia platform are expert teachers. These are one of the best teachers for each of the subjects. So those are the ones that the ministry invited to actually deliver content or the lessons. So in that case, students actually now have an opportunity to interact with the best teachers in the Gambia. So I can be in Basse, I can still access the best teacher from Combo.
Mendy further said MOPSI is trying to come up with the initiative to open a telecommunications to create a data package which will help students a lot, especially those in the remote areas, to get access to internet that will enable them to get access to the iLearn Gambia platform. He also said that the app comes along with content for easy learning. Lawrence called on students to focus more on their education.
Instead of just spending your time on TikTok, on Facebook, on WhatsApp status and stuff, this is an opportunity now to use the phone to actually benefit you, have access to iLearn Gambia, have rich content, use that for your remedial classes and all. So yeah, so that's basically the advice I have for the students.
The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education is committed to provide equitable, inclusive and quality education to all students across the country. For Star TV News, I am Hadi M. Jaju.
The veteran politician Sir Omar Saho has called on stakeholders to embrace community policing in the country in order to mitigate the high level of crime rate. Honorable Saho made these remarks during an interview with Modu Baji.
The Gambia Police Force is faced with a barrage of criticism for allegedly not properly policing the country, which critics say is the cause of the high rate of crime. However, reducing the high rate of crime still remains a nightmare. But for Sir Omar Saho, community policing can be a mitigating factor in the Gambia, adding that policing should be more of a preventive work.
Community policing is very important because community police is something that has to be passed over because it involves focal persons, focal areas, and that is always to live, and that is the narrative of in what society it is. That's why it's called community policing.
The role of community police seems to be absent in today's generation, and Mr. Saho believes embracing it will change the narratives on the crime situation.
Because when community policing started, that time one PRO, Assis Bojan, was very involved. There were bicycles donated by the Canadians for them to use it, you understand, to do the job of community policing. But nowadays, if you talk about policing, they will tell you we don't have vehicles, we don't have cars. What about what used to happen here in Gambia, even Serakunda, Banjul? It's called the beat. The beat, it was the police officers by day and night walking the streets of the communities in that particular area, whether it is Banjul or Serakunda. You understand? And even in the provincial, be calm to move around and see what's happening. That time they can use one Land Rover, but now, as we are in a modern time, I think communication is also very, very essential. To get a radio central, every police officer should be having a communication equipment, you understand, to do things the way policing requires.
The role of community police. Does the Gambia Police Force has what it takes to mitigate the crime rates in the country? The public relations officer of the Gambia Police Force, Superintendent Lamin Jai, admitted that the police are challenged with lack of resources.
Well, the Gambia Police Force Investigation Department is equipped with resources in terms of human and material resources. Of course, challenges are existing to be able to boost the investigation capability and capacity of the police. We will welcome any resource augmentation from any sector. But then, importantly, we have conducted several investigations and we are able to uncover and solve those crimes and prosecute people who have committed such heinous crimes. So this case and many others that are coming will not be an exception.
Pierre Njai noted that the police cannot be omniscient and omnipresent. For Star TV, I am Modu Elbaji.
As Ramadan draws closer to its end, an Islamic scholar, Mohammed Jallo, told Star TV in importance and history of Laylatul Qadr, which is known as the Night of Power. It is a hidden night within the last 10 days of the holy month of Ramadan. According to the Islamic scholar, Laylatul Qadr, known as the Night of Power, falls under the odd-numbered nights of the last 10 days. Our Sani has more.
Ustaz Muhammad Jallo says Night of Power or decree is one of the most major characteristics in Islam, and it is the day which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will decide the fortune of every human being as to what will happen to an individual in that year, which will be detailed and well known to the angels. The night is hidden because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants his servants to duplicate their efforts in praying and supplication, ask for forgiveness and give out charity.
So this night is hidden because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to double our effort, to increase the prayers, the supplication, and then asking for forgiveness, increase charity, the recitation of the Holy Quran, and all good deeds, so that we'll never miss this night. So one will not just say, well, for me, I'm going to worship Allah only on the odd nights. What about the other nights? You will not just say, it's the 21st night, I don't want the 23rd night or the 25th night. So according to the ulama, they mention that it is also known that this Laylatul Qadr will be moved from one night to another.
Ustaz Jallo adds that even ladies who are not in a state of purity can celebrate this night, and this is what he advised them to do.
What they should do, they could make supplication, dua, and then they could do zikr. They can say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar during these nights, during which they are menstruating. And then at the same time, they can give out charity. They can give out charity, sadaqah to people. And then they will not say, okay, let me go to the mosque and stand at the back. No, they could not enter the mosque. And they could not do what we call seclusion. That is itikaf. That is one need to stop in the masjid for the last 10 nights and days till the end of Ramadan. The last 10 nights and days. So because they are not in the state of purity, they are not allowed also. They can recite the Holy Quran. Maybe somebody can read it off head, then they can read it off head. And if not, touching the Holy Quran, there's a dispute among the ulama. They are free to touch it, but not with their naked hands. Maybe have hand gloves, or maybe wrap in a cloth in order to touch the Holy Quran.
Reading the book of Allah, which is written in English, and listen to Quran is also part of the ritual. Laylatul Qadr is also a single night which is equivalent to 33 years of worship, and it was the night in which the Quran was revealed to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Awasane.
The GFF League continued last night as Birkama United defeated Gambian Armed Forces for the second place position in the league. The two teams are leveled on points, but GAF has a superior goal difference. Hadijaju tells us more.
Both teams fought to dose each other to collect the valuable 3 points to mount pressure on current league leaders Fortune FC, who are currently unbeaten since the start of the country's top flight league in 2021. The Sateba boys recorded their first goal through a free kick by Domingo Mane in the 4th minute. Gambia Armed Forces succumbed to a second goal courtesy of Buba Bojang, leaving the scores at the end of the first half. The table turned dramatically in the second half as Armed Forces registered 2 goals in the 62 minutes respectively. The goals as a results of a free kick through the substitute Kabiro Diouf and Sana Jaju. However, as fate will have it on the night, Brikama United increased their tally with another goal from Papis, leaving the Soldier Boys with a hard-fought defeat. This is what both coaches had to say after the game.
Now we are making a history in Brikama United winning 5 matches in a row, which is a record as of now. So second, it's important because we want to close the gap before 14th play. Now 6 points. So that will put a little bit pressure on Fortune, and then we will see what will happen. But it's important that we maintain our consistency. That's winning, so we are happy anyway.
Second half, when we came back, we focused more on attack again. We left our defense line vulnerable. So Brigama, instead of playing that tiki-taka game, they changed their philosophy and they start playing on counters. So it pays dividends to Brigama again. So that's the game.
Both teams possess the most prolific strikers in the league and are fighting for the league's top scorer award. Real de Banjul played against Elite United in a late kickoff, with Bay Malen still searching for his much expected magic touch on Real de Banjul. The game ended Real de Banjul 1, Elite United 2. For Star TV News, I am Hadi M. Jaju.
Let's take a short break and continue with the international news. Stay tuned.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding. Gosh.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dut dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
Welcome back, and now news beyond our borders. The Democratic Republic of Congo's military has taken control of the eastern provinces of Kivu and Ituri after the president declared a state of siege against armed groups. It is in response of cries of distress from the population. But human rights groups are concerned that it could lead to an abuse of power. Al Jazeera's Catherine Sawyer reports from Nairobi.
Soldiers in the Democratic Republic of Congo patrol villages in Beni, where the armed group Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF, has killed thousands of Congolese in recent years. 2 provinces have now been placed under military rule: North Kivu, where rebels including the ADF operates, and Ituri, where ethnic militia have been fighting each other, killing civilians and displacing many more. A state of siege was declared by President Felix Tshisekedi last week. He has put the army and police in charge of administrative, court and local policing affairs. 2 generals have been appointed as governors, replacing those who were elected. Some human rights activists say they're worried that civil liberties are now at risk, and the forces, often accused of rights violations, corruption and indiscipline, could exploit this new power.
We are in uncharted territory and we know how our forces are. We are afraid they may take advantage of the situation. For example, if there is a police raid, they could loot and harass civilians. But we are also hoping to have a good relationship with them.
The security problem here has persisted for many years, with all fighting forces accused of atrocities. This is the result of the latest in a spate of killings. It's a burial of a prominent cleric, Sheikh Ali Al-Amin, who was opposed to the ADF and its interpretation of Islamic law. He was killed by gunmen during evening prayers in Beni. His widow says there was no help from the government.
They could have protected my husband when he was alive. They did not. I leave it all to God.
There have been street protests against the government and the United Nations for not doing enough to keep people safe. Tens of thousands of soldiers, including UN peacekeepers, have been deployed over the years, but they're up against more than 100 armed groups and have had little success.
We have to protect ourselves. We have complained enough to the government.
President Tshisekedi says his decision to impose a state of siege was prompted by the suffering of those living in the 2 provinces. People here say they'll wait to see if it makes a difference. But they're also worried that without checks and balances, the security forces could easily abuse their mandate. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera.
The U.S. has begun its withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. But as soldiers head home, the lives of thousands of Afghans who work for the American government are at risk. They are urging Washington to prioritize their visa applications to move to the U.S. before it is too late. Al Jazeera's Filoy Contrafuli reports from Kabul, Afghanistan.
Arzu knew she was risking it all when she started working as a contractor for the U.S. government. Her house has been attacked, and she's received many threats. Her supervisor suggested she apply for a special immigrant visa for herself and her family to safely move to the U.S. That was in 2017. She's still waiting for approval.
In this country, most of the people are not angry, even the women who work for Afghans. The worst thing is that the situation is getting worse day by day. And as we all know, the Taliban will take over the government. So what will happen to our lives? The main thing which I'm concerned is about myself and my family's security. Who would take this responsibility? Because most of the people can recognize me, even though I'm hiding myself, but I cannot guarantee that.
Arzu is one of about 18,000 Afghans who have worked alongside U.S. troops, diplomats and other government personnel and are awaiting decisions on those special immigrant visas. The process is long and grueling. A report published in early April found the program ineffective in addressing the needs of those applying.
By law, the application process should take 9 months. But on average, it takes 4 years, if not more. Since the announcement of the troop withdrawal, the U.S. State Department has said it is aware of the risks Afghan visa applicants face and that it is committed to the program.
But it has yet to commit to any concrete reforms to address the backlog or accelerate visa approval. As U.S. troops withdraw, pressure from Congress and organizations, including No One Left Behind, has been mounting.
If we don't do anything, if we do not expedite this process, I'm pretty much sure after the withdrawal, they will be tortured and killed in front of their family, and their videos will be uploaded on the social media for other people to not support the US government in the future.
Dozens of Afghans who worked with Australian troops in Afghanistan are also pleading to have their protection visa applications processed. The Taliban considers those Afghans who worked with the U.S. and other foreign countries as traitors and has vowed retribution against them. Dozens of Afghan interpreters and contractors have already been killed, several while waiting for their visas.
I have no option. The option I have is the only way to die here in this country or get my visa to have safe life in the States.
Since 2009, when the visa program was established, thousands of Afghans, many with their families, have relocated to the United States. And Arzu, along with thousands of others, desperately want to join them before it's too late. Filia Kontrafuri, Al Jazeera, Kabul.
The United Nations says more than 500 cases of sexual violence have been reported since the start of the conflict in Tigray. Most victims are struggling to cope with the psychological impact of their ordeal. Al Jazeera's Hiba Morgan has been speaking to one survivor who has fled to Sudan's Gadrif state.
When fighting began in Ethiopia's Tigray region last November, this woman, who we're calling Burtukan to protect her identity, says she was working in a farm in her hometown of Shire. Fearing for her life and that of her 2-year-old son, she says she fled in search of safety. But she says she and her son ended up in a situation she'd never imagined.
4 military soldiers from the Amhara region got me and took me to a house. There, 2 of them raped me for days. They refused to give me food or water. They beat me whenever I tried to run away. I still suffer from back pains. I begged them to stop and asked them why they were doing this to me. They said it's because I'm from Tigray.
Burtukan now lives in Kuba camp in Sudan's Gaddarif state along with 20,000 other refugees. More than 63,000 Tigrayans have crossed the border since the start of the government offensive on the regional Tigray People's Liberation Front. The conflict has left thousands killed or internally displaced. Aid agencies say at least 5 million are in need of relief supplies, and the United Nations says at least 500 cases of sexual violence have been reported. Rights groups say sexual violence and rape are used as weapons of war in the conflict. The Ethiopian government blames Tigrayan forces, but survivors say it's troops from the neighboring Amhara region and Eritrea who are carrying out the atrocities in what appear to be revenge attacks. Ethiopian and Eritrean leaders have also accused activists from the Tigray People's Liberation Front of faking rape cases as a propaganda tool. That's despite evidence of rape from survivors and health workers in the region. Dozens of cases have been documented in the refugee camps in Sudan. Aid organizations say the real number is likely to be higher.
Underreporting is everywhere. And, there is many factors affecting this, like feeling of shame, of reporting, fear of retaliation. And the major challenge that we are facing now is funding. We do our best, and we want to reach every woman and girl in the camps, and every vulnerable woman and girl. We want to make sure that she feels safe and empowered.
Burtukan says with the memories of the days she was sexually abused constantly haunting her, she's finding it hard to move on.
Sometimes I lose the will to get out of my tent, and sometimes I get nightmares and wake up crying before I realize that I'm no longer trapped in that house.
She says she hopes the day comes when she can put the horrors of the assault behind her, but is worried how long that will take. Hiba Morgan, Al Jazeera, Kuba camp, Gaddarif state.
And before we end the news, a recap of our main headlines. MOPSI launches Ireland Gambia platform. Veteran politician Sheikh Saho calls for community policing. Muslims to celebrate Night of Power as Ramadan draws closer to its end. Brikama United defeats GAF FC. On the other news, DR Congo military takes eastern provinces from armed groups. A challenge for Afghan military as US leave Afghanistan. Sexual violence victim in Tigray struggle with psychological impact. Well, it's a wrap here in our studios in Serekunda. Thanks for watching and do join us tomorrow for more news.